français. La traduction. Et la traduction. C'est bon. C'est bon.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this press conference here in Salzburg for the 2026 UEFA Super Cup between Paris Saint-Germain and Aston Villa FC. Today on stage we have PSG players Vitinha and Marquinhos. They will be later followed by PSG head coach Luis Enrique. We kindly ask you to state your name, your media organization before asking any questions. Please ask your question in German, French, English or in Spanish. And we remind you that simultaneous translation is available. I think we are ready to start. So, Julien, the floor is yours.
Merci. Bonjour, bienvenue pour cette conférence de presse de veille de match entre le Paris Saint-Germain.
Welcome for this pre-match press conference between PSG and Aston Villa with Marquinhos and Vitinha. We'll get started with the questions for Vitinha first.
D'abord, comment allez-vous après
First of all, how are you doing after these few weeks of vacation, and how do you recover as a player after the latest incredible season? How do you start a new season? Hello. Yeah, well, very good. I would say that last year we really wanted to get more titles, play more matches so as to have more trophies. And it is the same this year. We want more. Of course, we know that it is difficult and we'll do everything to get more titles.
Loïc Tanzi pour l'équipe. Vous revenez tout juste à l'entraînement.
You just resumed training. Are you ready to play tomorrow? Can you play 90 minutes as a regular player? Are you ready? Yes, of course. We know that the preparation time is a bit short, but you have to choose whether you need to recover a bit more or prepare more, but you cannot have both with the time that we're given, the time frame. But I and the team will be ready tomorrow and will do everything possible to win this title and get the trophy.
Du Parisien. Un joueur qui est revenu un petit peu plus tôt que les autres, c'est Khvicha Kvaratskhelia.
Kvaratskhelia came back a bit earlier. How did you see him when you saw him at training and the fact that he wasn't at the World Cup? Does he now want to attack more this season? Well, he hasn't played for a while, so I saw that he really wanted to play, wanted to train, to be here, just a bit like all of us. But the players who were not at the World Cup are even more eager, and I do hope that everybody will be ready for tomorrow and have a great match. Hello, Vitinha. What can you tell us about the Aston Villa team? Lucas Digne, who played there a few months ago, did he talk to you about it? Did he give you some keys for the match? Well, the best person to answer this would be the coach. Maybe that Lucas said something. I already talked to him, but we haven't talked about Aston Villa yet. And we'll see with the coach, get into more detail and check out our opponent. We all know Aston Villa. It's a new season. There's new players. There's players that are coming in, others leaving. It's going to be a difficult match. It's always difficult to play an English team. We already had proof for that, and we're going to be ready.
Bonjour Vitinha, Ilias Peters pour Culture PSG. Aston Villa, c'est aussi quand même
Aston Villa is also a team that you know well. You played them in the Champions League 2 years ago. It was very complicated for the return match. Do you remember that match? And how important was that match for the first and then second Champions League? Of course, I remember that match. It was very tough, especially in the second half. As I said earlier, it's going to be a tough match. And the coach is the same, and a lot of things happen within 2 years. But given that it's the same coach, it's going to be along the same lines, and we'll give it all to be ready tomorrow. We're aware of the difficulty it's going to be, and we're also aware of the fact that it's a match that you don't have a lot of opportunities to play in your career. It's very difficult to reach a Super Cup. So we're going to give it all in order to win tomorrow.
Bonjour Viti, par ici.
Hello. Yesterday, the coach said for UEFA, the titles in the past don't interest him. He wants to focus on the present. After a great season, you're doing a reset. You're starting from zero as if you hadn't won anything. What is the secret? Do you work on this mentally to start every season anew from zero?
Je pense qu'on est tous
I believe that we are all aware of the roller coaster that is a season. In the first season, we reached the Champions League. It wasn't consistent, neither was it for the second season. So if you think too far ahead, that's already a mistake. And as the coach rightly said, it's a reset. Let's forget about the titles that we already won and let's focus on the future. We keep wanting more, and that is also what gave us good results, and we'll just keep the formula.
Irakli Medadze, Stadion Salzburg, Georgia. It's quite a couple of months still, but it's very interesting, your opinion. Who's the main contender for winning the Ballon d'Or? Maybe it's Khvicha Kvaratskhelia, but if not Khvicha, then who? Thank you.
There's a lot of good players that this year can take the Ballon d'Or. For me, in my opinion, I think it would be fair to be a PSG player, either Kvara, either that did an incredible season, especially in the Champions League. Either Ousmane Dembélé that did again a great season, even Fabian that won it all. So for me, that would be the choice that I will have. These three, but yeah, there's a lot of good players as well. Kane, Kylian. Not forgetting. Hope I'm not forgetting someone, but they are really good players. But I hope and I would vote for a Parisian to win the Ballon d'Or.
Dernière question pour Vitinha. Last question for Vitinha.
Hi, Viti. Question from Titan Sports China in English. Maybe the World Cup didn't meet your expectation at 100% in result term, but it's still your first experience playing World Cup as a star player for Portugal. How's your feeling now? I mean, a season after World Cup, from a physical and psychological point of view, is there any particularity for a season after World Cup and a Super Cup as a first formal match in this season? Thank you.
It's obvious that we Portugal didn't have the result that we wanted in the World Cup, but it's not time to talk about it right now. We are in the club right now. We have we had the time to rest as well, so I think we are prepared to play the club's match now, and I think it's most important that we have our mind in it. So like I said, I have my mind and we have our mind in tomorrow's game, and we want to win. Thank you.
Merci. On va passer aux questions pour Marquinhos, s'il vous plaît.
And let's switch over to the question for Marquinhos at this point.
Bonjour Marquis, ici Adrien Chantouré du Parisien.
Hello, Marquis. About the same question about Kvara. How do you feel about this long vacation? He recovered. Do you think that he's even more determined than he is normally determined? He had long vacation, and do you think that he's ready? Hello, yes, Kvara, I saw him. He's doing very well. He had a great vacation and he prepared very well. I saw a few of the trainings and I just came back from vacation, so he was fresher than I was. And yeah, we're counting on all the players. We cannot lay all our weight on certain players. We know the philosophy of the club, the philosophy that our coach has. Whoever is going to be on the pitch, everybody is important and has their role to play. And Kvara has his role to play. He's a real player in our team. It can be decisive. So we hope that he is going to have an amazing season like he did. And this is going to be great for us, for the club, and for our goals for the season.
C'est juste ici. Question très simple, comment tu appréhendes personnellement cette nouvelle saison?
How do you start this new season? And from when you started, is PSG ready, and can they win the treble? Well, that's our goal. We know how difficult it is, and it's not because we won a lot of titles in the last 2 seasons that things are easy. We know that the road has a lot of obstacles that we need to overcome, so we'll go little by little. We have an objective, an important goal tomorrow. Even though we haven't trained a lot, we really want to win. With regards to the objectives and the titles, there are opportunities that you need to seize. You can't let them go past. Personally, I want to win, and all the players on our team are the same. Even though we haven't had time to prepare a lot, even during the vacation, they prepared, they did whatever needed to be done to come here and be ready and to give it all on the pitch for tomorrow's match, whilst balancing out recovery and vacation time and preparatory time. And as a team tomorrow, we're going to give it all to get the victory. Can you tell us more how Luis Enrique is, in what state of mind, and the speech that he has, he's still as relaxed in the preparation as you remember? Well, he's as fresh as Kvara.
C'est un coach qui est vraiment
Luis Enrique is a coach that knows how to relay the messages to the teams from day one. He knows how to pass on the message. It's a very ambitious message. And he has a message for every player so that they understand where they stand in the season. The physical and mental preparation is essential. He is aware, just like last year, our team will not be at peak level at the beginning of the season, but it's important that everybody gives their all so that we can improve. We have a title that we want to win tomorrow, and this title is going to be important for us, this trophy. And Luis Enrique is a coach that doesn't let us just lay on our laurels just because we won titles in the past. The titles are part of the past. Now we want to keep winning more titles, mark our name in history, and have our names on the title. And that's the message. The message is very clear this season. Even though we won a lot of titles this year, we're going to keep wanting to get the titles. And that's the PSG's mentality, more and more so.
Bonjour Marquinhos, Ilias Peters de Culture PSG.
There have been 3 newcomers, Lucas Digne, the Mendes Anush, and the young goalkeeper. How do you enable that they get integrated better as a captain? Well, as a captain, the idea is always to put newcomers in the best conditions from day one, to talk to them, sometimes to explain things during a training, explaining about the team's philosophy. We have a group where all the newcomers feel well, at least from day one. We are a team that is very open to receiving and welcoming new players that will help us for the coming season. And as a captain, my role is from day one to talk to them, to explain to them what our team's philosophy is, the ambition of our club, the coach, the staff, the management. Everybody is important in the role they have, and my role is to help them as and when needed and to put them in the best conditions from day one. You have been in the club for a very long time. You were already at the Camp de Loge. We have a feeling that there's a major gap between before and now. And now Paris Saint-Germain is playing the Champions League. We have a feeling that there was a bit of fear. And now Paris Saint-Germain is becoming more and more sure on themselves in this competition and in the Champions League. Can you tell us a bit more? Well, this shows the philosophy of the club, of our coach, of the management. Every day in training sessions from day one, our coach is looking to strive for the best. I remember on day one, he said that we had the Everest to climb, and that's what we're doing. He doesn't let us go down from the Everest. We keep going up and trying to improve and improve. And as I said earlier, he knows how to convey his message very well. He knows how to say things when the players need to hear. He knows about the right timing to convey messages. With everything that he has showed us to bring us where we are today, the players are very confident in the message he is relaying. The message being to give it all on the pitch, whoever the opponent is, whatever the game is. We're going to press to get the ball from the opponent, to get ball possessions, whatever the situation. Even when we have better matches that we play than when we play at home, we play better matches sometimes away. And this shows that how the management and the coach work, and the message is relayed very well to the players, and the players also have this mentality that goes hand in hand with the club's mentality.
Hello, Marquinhos. Just to your right, yeah. John Murray from the BBC. I know that you're saying that you are starting again, a reset, start from scratch, but does what you've achieved over the course of particularly the last 2 years mean that you have like an air of invincibility, and can you play on that?
Je réponds en français.
In French. We cannot rely on what happened in the last few years, because every match is important, every season is different, and every match has its proper history. Every match gives us experiences. Certain defeats leave scars. Some victories show us the way to keep working and to rely on our qualities. This club and this team, there have been a lot of things happening over the last few years, and that's why the team is ready. Whoever we're going to play, whoever the opponent is, we know that the matches are not going to be easy. Certain matches can seem easy, but we will be the ones making the match easy. Whatever the situation, we're ready with our resources to win the match. We sometimes won matches in the last few minutes, certain difficult matches. Aston Villa is a tough opponent. We played them in Champions League 2 years ago, and now this is another moment all the titles that we won are in the past now. Now we have goals to reach, and we cannot think about the past. But with the experience that we have, and with the scores, and also with the good matches that show us the way, that's our path that we have gone along. We have our history, but we forget everything that happened so that we can go and reach out for more titles.
Hey, good afternoon. Radek Silmayer, Czechia. I have a question about Lucas Digne. He has just joined the PSG from Aston Villa. Did he tell you anything about tomorrow's opponent? I think he has the best experiences. He knows the English team like most of you. So if he said something about it or not. Thank you so much.
Bon, pour nous, les joueurs, il n'a pas trop parlé de l'adversaire.
He didn't talk too much about the opponent, nor about his time in England. But maybe he talked to the coach, and the coach is preparing the match. Every player can have an interpretation of the opponent, of details of what can be on the pitch. We, as players, we need to be aware of the strategy for tomorrow's match. So we prefer to have the information from the coach and the staff, so all the players can have the same mindset and the same vision of what is going to happen in tomorrow's match. Maybe he talked to the coach, and the coach will pass on the message for tomorrow's match and the strategies that we're going to implement. With regards to Lucas, he arrived in the same time as I did. A young player who wanted to win a lot of titles with a different path. I stayed, he left, he reached for his dreams, and now we're back together. And we hugged at the training yesterday, and we talked about what we went through over the last few years, and he congratulated me for everything that I have gone through, and I congratulated him as well, because he did a big round, and then he came back home, and I'm very happy, I'm delighted that he's back at Paris Saint-Germain. He's also part of my story at Paris Saint-Germain, so I'm very happy that he's back. He's a player that knows the story of the club. He knows the previous PSG, not today's PSG that won a lot of trophies, and he also had difficult times. He knows the club stories, and I'm very happy that he's back. He's a good guy, a good friend. We had a lot of good times in the past, and I hope that this year and in the years to come that we're going to have great times again.
Hello, Sebastian Steinbichler from Austrian Kronenzeitung. You played here already in December 2024. Do you have any special memory about this place, about this game, about Austria in general?
Oui, je me rappelle que ça a été un match très important qu'on devait gagner, on devait amener des points.
I remember it was a very important match. We needed to win in order to qualify. It was not such a favorable time in the ranking, and this match was essential for us. And we came here to Salzburg with the ambition to win this match and to play a great match. And this match pushed us forward. We had a great performance. We scored a lot of goals. This match really led us to do great things throughout the season, and I hope that it will be the same atmosphere tomorrow, that we'll have a lot of good energy so that we can win and bring this title back home. I know that our fans will be here, and I'm happy that they will be here. And I hope that this will be another special moment here in Salzburg, that we will be winning the title, because we really want to bring this trophy back home.
Thank you.
We will continue with the press conference of head coach Luis Enrique in a few seconds. Thank you. Welcome back, everyone. We will continue right away with head coach Luis Enrique. So, Julien, if you're happy to take the floor.
On va pouvoir débuter cette conférence de presse avec Luis Enrique.
Let's start it with Luis Enrique for this press conference.
Bonjour. Loïc Tanguy pour l'équipe. Question assez simple pour commencer. Comment vous sentez-vous?
How are you feeling? Were you able to recover and are you mentally fresh to start this new season? Hello. Well, you know, I rested all summer long. We're fresh and we're ready and happy to be back. We are ready, trained for 2.5 weeks, and players are coming back little by little. We're starting the season tomorrow with a final, and we did a great job last year. Playing this first official match is important, and we'll try to perform. Hello, coach. A year ago, you opened the season and you said that the goal of the season was to win the second Champions League. And now I'd like to ask the question, is the goal of the season to win the third Champions League? Of course it is. We set out ambitious objectives and we are continuing to do so. In this moment, it's a different scenario because everybody thinks that we can win once again. That's the theory. And then we need to show what our level is. We need to show it on the pitch that we have this level. And of course, we're looking to win this match. And if you look back in the history, it's difficult to find a team that wins all the time, and that's what we're striving for.
Bonjour coach, Arthur Perrault, RMC, à votre gauche.
Hello coach. From what you have seen since you resumed training, do you think that Paris Saint-Germain is ready today? And how are you managing this get back to play with 2 potential trophies? Well, I remember last year was very specific. It was beautiful. And same this year. I repeat myself. We're happy because it means that we did a great job in terms of preparation. It's a bit complicated to manage, to know exactly how each and every player can play. Tomorrow we'll see that. We'll try and be at our highest level, but it is complicated. You need to know that we prepare the season in a smart way, and we try to be in the best conditions at the end of the season, not at the beginning. That's the way it is. We need to accept it, and we're happy to be here. Hello, Luis. What can you tell us about this opponent, Aston Villa, that you already played in the past? And that's a great club in Europe. Well, we need to see the pre-season. There's a lot of important players that have left, and it's difficult in a pre-season match to assess exactly the type of team that is going to play. We'll see that tomorrow. It's important for all the teams to win a European trophy, and we'll see what type of match both teams can play tomorrow.
Bonjour coach, Ilyes Peters pour Culture PSG. Un peu dans le prolongement de la question de mon confrère,
Aston Villa is a team that you played 2 years ago in the Champions League, and it was quite difficult, especially in the return leg. How was the match in Birmingham essential for all the successes for the first and Champions League trophy? Well, if we analyze what we did over the last 2 years, every opponent showed their level, and they all wanted to win against us. We can see how we improved in every match in the Champions League in the last 2 years. We're happy with what we did, how we played, but what is important is to be unpredictable for the opponent, and that's important for us, and that's what we're aiming at. And we think that it's going to be important throughout the season. We're starting this season with the same mentality, with the same willingness to win important trophies.
En castellano digo pico de marca. Me gustaría preguntarte por Unai Emery, pero sobre todo por los entrenadores españoles, por este nivel que estáis dando en el que prácticamente no dejáis ni las migajas a nadie. Habéis ganado UEFA, Europa League, Champions League, el Mundial. Y luego también me gustaría preguntarte una pregunta de mercado. Sé que no es el foro, pero me gustaría saber si te...
I would like to know if you think that you will see the possibility that about Ferran Torres. Thank you. In what language shall I answer?
Yo no hablo de mercado, solo hablo de los jugadores que están en el Paris Saint-Germain. Y la primera, creo que hace ya muchos años que el fútbol español está...
Well, there's a lot of years that the Spanish football...
Creo que es algo que nos tiene que hacer sentir orgullosos.
And I think we need to be proud about it. And this second title will show that we can win more titles. A few years ago, Luis Aragonés, he's the first who opened the path, and he helped as well. There were a lot of players in Barcelona with Pep Guardiola, and Spain has been playing for a decade a very good football, and it is something that we need to be proud of. The Spanish football is very good for the players and for the team and for the manager.
Hi, Lewis. John Murray from the BBC. I'm sure you've followed everything that's been happening at the top of the game over the course of the last few weeks since the World Cup. Obviously, you as the manager of the European champions, what you say carries a lot of weight. Have you got any wise words about it? Because everything seems very uncertain, doesn't it, how things will progress?
About what?
With UEFA, Infantino, FIFA,
What's the problem, my friend? I focus on my team, I focus on my players, I focus on the mercato. I have no words about that. It's more for the politician. I'm not a politician, I'm a manager, and I focus on my team. I have an opinion, but not for sure, not here. That's not the place.
Hola, mister. Soy Adam Arasti, trabajo por RTL Hungría. Hace un año en Udine, antes de la Supercopa, usted ha hablado sobre la situación extraña que no tenía casi ni...
There have been a strange situation, and now winning the first Champions League and then the second Champions League. You played a few pre-season match, and after the World Cup, as a coach, is this situation more important? It's a surreal situation. I don't have a player. They arrived on Monday, the international players, the French players, the Spanish players, and the Moroccan one arrived at Monday, the Brazilian one, and the Portuguese one on the third. And that's just 1 week, and it's the situation due to the mercado. But we prepared in the best way possible, and we're happy because that means that We won an important title, the Champions League, but tomorrow it's a high-level play, and it's very difficult because most players, they try to train at home, and we'll see tomorrow. It's very important for us, for our club, and for the fans to win the club. But in terms of preparation, well, it's not what it should have been with regards to final.
Hi. Bradley Barcola is part of the squad tomorrow. I'm wondering whether there's an update on his future and whether it's something that you want sorting sooner rather than later, considering the window closes fairly soon.
Well, we are going to train today. We are trying to analyze everything, all the things that are important for the team, and after that we are going to make our decision, and you will see tomorrow.
About his future at the club?
I don't know, and I don't want to speak about any player individually because, it's always dangerous when you are asking something positive or negative about a player, and I stay focused on my team.
Dernière question, last question for Luis Enrique.
Hi Luis, David Gurgis from SNTV. I just wanted to ask you about you as a coach. How do you develop your skills every year to keep your players motivated? Do you use the off-season to change what you do to keep them motivated to keep going for more trophies?
Yeah, I'm very lucky because I have an unbelievable players. They are motivated all the time, and that's one of the keys that this team, when you have players that they don't need extra motivation because they feel and they live that that kind of playing that we try to do, and they enjoy all the time. They try to be better every day, and yeah, I'm very lucky with that with those players. I think it's one of the keys, clearly.
Merci,
Okay,
thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.